Welcome to the Creative and Ambitious Entrepreneur Podcast.
My name is Jen Clark.
And I'm Elka Clark. We are a mother-daughter team who started our Zazzle e-commerce businesses over 10 years ago and have sold $15 million and counting of products on Zazzle with our designs on them.
We had so many people asking us how we did this, so we created our signature course, the Profit by Design Academy, which teaches our 5 strategies for success on Zazzle.
When we aren't helping creative entrepreneurs just like you create profitable e-commerce businesses, we love cooking food from places all over the world that we've traveled to, jet setting to our next dream destination, spending quality time with our close friends and family, or having fun creating our next bestsellers in our Zazzle businesses.
In this podcast, we share actionable steps you, the creative, can take to make money in your e-commerce business on Zazzle. Each episode will take you one step closer to achieving freedom with your time, location, and finances.
We believe that you can have anything you dream of, as long as you work smarter, not harder. And we're here to give you the tools you need to make your dreams happen. Let's get started. Well, hey there, it's Elka.
And Jen, and welcome to another episode of the Creative and Ambitious Entrepreneur Podcast. And today we are talking about Zazzle success strategy number 3, which is announce and promote to make sales on Zazzle.
This is part of our 5-part series. This is number 3 in the 5-part series. So check out the other podcasts and make sure that you listen to all 5, because every one of these 5 strategies are important because they were the ones that we used in our Zazzle business to make over $1.5 million in earnings.
Yeah.
Now, the 5 strategies have to be put together. They can't be done separately. You can't just do 1 or 2 or 3. All 5 have to be done. So make sure that you really catch all the finer details of each of the strategies. And as you may have noticed, we're doing 1 strategy per podcast.
Yeah, so if you are first listening to this podcast, go back and make sure you watch the first 2 at least. And then there are 2 more coming in the future.
And if you're watching this like a binge, then they might already be out. But if not, then watch for them, because we have them come out every week on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Okay, so today's strategy is strategy number 3, and it's called announce, which is a fancy word for promotion, just so it fits nicely with our 5 strategies and makes it sound cool and interesting. But the key here is you're announcing to the world that you have things for sale, right? And I've actually chosen the word announce because when people say, oh, you have to promote, people's skin starts to crawl. It's like, no, I'm afraid of sales. I don't want sales to, I'm not a salesperson. I've always had bad sales experiences. And now I'm supposed to flog my stuff. And that's not what we do. We make sure that we come at this as us being a service to our customers. And because we do that, it changes everything. It allows us to treat the customer with respect and not just push product. Instead, what we're doing is we're there, ready and waiting for when they are ready, so that we don't have to do the convincing. We just have to be ready with our products. Remember our workers from the other episode, strategy number 2, and that those workers are then going to do a lot of the sales for you. And then we're going to talk to you about a couple of other strategies that you can use for promotion here in this episode that are going to tie in and give you a lot of passive ways for you to make sales without you having to be that sleazy, salesy, icky person. Okay, so what are the 3 points that we're going to cover?
Okay, so the first point is who will benefit from implementing strategy number 3, which is announce into their Zazzle business. The second point is why is strategy number 3 announce important and what are the benefits? And then the third point is what needs to be done to incorporate strategy number 3, announce in your Zazzle business.
Yeah, we're going to give you some points as to what you can do right now to get this to work for you and implement strategy number 3. Okay, so let's start with who needs to benefit from implementing strategy number 3.
Any creative, whether you're an artist or photographer, a graphic designer, or even if you just kind of have a creative bone in your body and you want to try something new, It is for any creative who are thinking of starting on Zazzle and want to get in the foothold and be competitive in the Zazzle marketplace. And yeah, you need to have announced within your Zazzle business strategies because you need to actually tell people about your products, right? You want people to come in and see what you're selling and what you're offering so that you can make those sales.
Exactly. And remember, this is an e-commerce online platform. And we're not physically sort of, there when the customer shows up.
Yeah.
We have to have a lot of things in place. Remember strategy number 1, which is establish in order for them to even start that sales process with us with regards to the things that we have to offer in our Zazzle store. And so the combination of that strategy number 1, which is establish, then this create strategy, which means make the right products, and then combine that with the announce is kind of like a nice magic formula for you to work through the sales process with the customer. So you're going to start out, they're going to know, like, and trust you with how you're setting up your store. And then you're going to bring it all back to the fact that they're going to find your store and they're going to find your products with the announced strategies that we're going to talk about here. And there are tons of people on the Zazzle marketplace already as Zazzle designers. And so to have your products noticed, you have to do a couple of things, and obviously announcing is one of them, to make sure that you get that competitive edge to compete with all the other ones that are already there. Now, our students in the Profit by Design Academy coaching program do really well at this because we've already had that experience where we've had to keep competitive for over 14 years. And so every year or every month even, things change. So knowing what to do, having this announced strategy in place will allow you to continue to stay competitive, as well as slip into the marketplace and start to be competitive pretty early on in your Zazzle career. If you go with our Profit by Design Academy coaching program, if you're doing it on your own, you might have success. Awesome. But if you don't, then consider that maybe there's some other things that you still need to put in place before you can actually get that to happen for you and be on that list of popular product sort when someone looks for something that you've made. And that's the key, right? That's the holy grail, to be in that popular sort when someone's looking for something that you've made, and hopefully your product is there so they can buy it, right?
Yeah.
Now, what about Zazzle designers who've been struggling to earn a lot of money on Zazzle?
If you're not making $5,000 a month on Zazzle right now, which most of you probably aren't, there are certain Zazzle designers that make more than that, and it is possible. So if you're not making that amount of money, then don't worry and don't think that it's never going to be able to be possible. But if you're not making that amount of money, this is definitely for you too, because that means that you haven't implemented the strategies properly and you're not having your Zazzle business work efficiently for you the way that it should be.
Yeah, because people aren't finding your products, and so you're not making those sales.
Yep.
That's the simple truth of everything. Okay, so listen up. If that's the case for both of you, both of those types of people, if that's one of, that describes you really well, then you're going to love this episode. So let's talk about why it's important to promote your products and what are the benefits.
Well, the first one is if you don't promote your products, your Zazzle products might be seen in the marketplace. They might be seen, but, and we'll talk about this later on in point number 3, if you don't have proper titles and tags, that's also including announcing your product and creating that promotion for it. So if you don't have the right promotion in general, then your Zazzle products won't be found and you won't make those sales, like Elle had just mentioned.
Yeah, it's just like a no-brainer. If people can't see the product, they won't buy it.
Yeah.
Right?
And even if you have the most amazing design, Yeah,
exactly. Your designs could be brilliant. But if they don't find them, then there's no sales.
And so
simple as that.
Probably we're resonating with a whole bunch of people right now where you think you have an amazing design, you worked really, really hard on it, but you're seeing like a big fat 0 next to the sales and you don't understand why. Even. Or the views, that's true. Maybe you're not even getting views, let alone sales. And so that's really frustrating because obviously if you've worked really hard on creating a beautiful product and using the design tool and making a really great design, maybe the whole product itself works and functions properly. But if no one can find it, then no one's going to buy it.
Yeah, I know. It's a very sad thing. And it can lead to a lot of frustration, self-doubt, feeling less worthy. And those are not things that you should be thinking when you've, experienced that. Why? Because the reasons why it's not being found, it's the reason why is you didn't do promotion. So the one and only thing you can say is, I didn't do a very good job of promotion. It doesn't mean anything else. And so that's key and crucial. So the other thing is that you may not be doing enough because you feel that the only way you can make a sale is by behaving like that, sleazy car salesman. The sales are icky kind of thing because you've had a lot of bad experiences with other people trying to push things on you and sell things to you.
Yeah.
And even now on online spaces, there's certain
Ads.
Direct marketing and so on. And you may have already experienced that even with one of our sales, with our courses. Not that it's sleazy, but there are certain ways that people need to be able to be sold to for them to buy.
Yeah.
For example, one of the things that's very clear is that someone has to see or have 10 touch points with you. And that's not physical touch points. That's just like they have to see an ad for the product, and then they might need like someone to tell them, we need a baby shower invitation for this party that we're going to, or something like that. And then you have to maybe see something on Pinterest, and then you have to have someone else call up and say, I just found this great baby shower. What do you think? And even though it's exactly the same product that the person sees, they have to see it almost 10 times in order for them to say, I think I like this. Mm-hmm. Not everybody shops like looking at it once and then they buy it right away like me.
Impulse buyers, yeah.
I'm an impulse buyer, but I do a lot of research first, but then it looks to everyone else that I'm an impulse buyer. But you're doing the research, right? You're checking things out, you're doing your thing, and then even if you weren't in the position to buy something, if you see it 10 times, you start to think, ooh, I think I need that. Mm-hmm. Even if it's a baby shower and it's not even, I'm just kidding. But
it's very true, though. Now, people need to see something 10 times or even understand that that's something that they may possibly want, or the fact that maybe they're just scrolling through Pinterest and they see your pin, but it doesn't even register because they've got something else on their brain. Yeah. So they need to have something where you can be present within their space and actually show up and, give them an opportunity to come in and buy. And going on Ilka's point in terms of feeling icky, in terms of being like a car salesman or sleazy or whatever you may want to call it, other people might find technology scary, right? It may feel icky, but not in an icky sense because you feel gross about it. It's just like scary icky where you don't even want to touch Pinterest or open up your Pinterest account because it's like this big void of you don't even know where to start and you're just nervous and scared. Because I know that a lot of our students, when they first come into our courses or our coaching program, they haven't been on Pinterest and they would rather avoid promoting on social media or doing the research and like actually externally promoting their products than make the extra money. Because when you refer your products, you get that extra 35%. But so many people shy away from it because they're just nervous and scared and they actually feel like if they don't know it, they're not going to be good at it. Yeah. And you don't know what you don't know. So even if you don't know how to use Pinterest, it doesn't mean that you're not going to succeed at it. You might succeed or you might fail, but you have to at least learn and put yourself forward and take that next step, right? Instead of shutting the door and saying, no, I'm not going to promote because I just don't understand technology.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And that's where we come in with the Profit by Design Academy coaching program. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we help people with that. And most times they go like, I don't know why I didn't do this earlier. Yeah. It's a lot easier than I thought. And so that's really important for you to remember. Mm-hmm. And so that could be a great point. We should actually add that as the third point within the, why is there a benefit and why is it important?
Have you heard about the Profit by Design Academy coaching program yet?
Are you a new or current Zazzle designer who is struggling to figure out how to make Zazzle work for you? Worried that you're wasting your time using the throw spaghetti against the wall to see if it sticks method? And unsure how you can start and scale your Zazzle business to reach your first 5K month?
Then the Profit by Design Academy coaching program is the perfect solution for you. You will feel confident, supported, and clear on how to create your dream Zazzle business.
Imagine having the exact 5 strategies that we use to build and scale our Zazzle businesses, which have sold over $15 million worth of Zazzle products so far.
And it's not just us. The 5 strategies taught in the Profit by Design Academy coaching program and the coaching support have helped our clients sell over $6 million worth of Zazzle products so far.
Head to the show notes to grab the link and we'll see you inside the Profit by Design Academy coaching program. Now let's get back to the show. Okay, so let's move into what needs to be done in order to incorporate strategy number 3, announce in the Zazzle business or in your Zazzle business.
Yeah.
So what we have sort of these levels of involvement with regards to promotion, because as Jen mentioned earlier, titles and tags is already a promotion effort, right? It's an organic way for your product to get seen if you put the right title on and the right tags added to it before you even post it for sale. And then when you send it out, remember we were talking about those workers in the last episode with the create strategy number 2, we were saying, okay, if you give the workers the right tools, i.e. the right tags and title, then they're going to already be able to latch onto that customer much more effectively and get them to see that product at least those 10 times, right? Yeah. And so the titles and tags are a really great way to do organic or passive promotion. So that's no brainer, right? That's the first thing. And we always highly recommend that first, because that's what's really worked for us. Everything else beyond that has actually been something that we've tried, and maybe it's okay sometimes, it's not okay other times, but because so much changes in the social media platforms that you can do a lot of effort or make a lot of things work for you in one platform, and then the platform shuts down.
Or the rules change, or something happens.
Yeah, so the key is to get your titles and tags locked in, and then after that, we start to add more pieces. Now, in terms of what else we have available on Zazzle, it's something called collections. And if you haven't yet understood what collections are or even how you can use them very well, promotion is the way to use collections. They're going to be fantastic vehicles for you to promote additional products that belong with the purchasing of the first product. You want to talk about that some more?
Yeah, sure. We dive really, really deep into this when we're in the Profit by Design Academy coaching program, because obviously there's much more that we can teach our students and our clients than just talking to you in a podcast episode. But what you can do is use your collections to leverage certain products. And I'm sure that you have realized that when you land on a product, one of your own, underneath there's a section that says other products that you might like, and then there's the information about the product, the actual product. But if you add it to a collection, that means that when it's in a collection, when you scroll down underneath where it says other products you might like, it actually says the other products in this collection are, and it shows the bunch of products that you've added to that collection. So that means that you can basically take one product that may be working for you and cross promote either matching products or other types of products that are similar, because you might want to give them an option. Let's say a blue pillow versus a red pillow, or let's say you have a blue pillow and then you add all of the other types of home decor, so a lamp and a blanket and etc. So you're able to use your collections to actually promote your other products and actually increase your sales, because then they'll probably most likely be able to then buy in bulk or multiples, right? Matching products, or even choose different options. Or maybe they say, hey, I actually like all the things, right? I want a blue pillow and a red pillow. And so they buy multiple products if you do them properly, right? And if they like the design. Obviously, we cannot make any income claim statements. So me telling you that putting a product in a collection does not actually equal sales all the time, but it definitely helps leverage your products and cross-promote them internally on Zazzle using organic traffic, because those collections are now working for you within the Zazzle marketplace. So whenever somebody searches for a product and finds it in the marketplace, they can then see all of those other multiple designs within that collection.
Yeah, perfect explanation. Probably the best we've ever done. Yeah. Yeah, it's so powerful. And again, guess what? It's passive. Not like, sure, you have to put your products in the collection, but after that, they're working for you, those collections, and they will start to leverage, especially if you put something in there that's a seller already, it'll help to promote the other ones, obviously, because people are going to be looking at that seller more often. And then they get to see all these other products underneath right away that normally would not pop up in the marketplace searches based on whether it's like a different product or whatever. But this is the only way that you can get all these products to show up all in one space so the customer can see them all at once and go like, wow, this is cool. I can get this, this, and this.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the second way to, do you want to add?
No, I was going to go into the third point.
Okay, go.
So the third one is to use Pinterest. And we spoke a bit about Pinterest in the last episode, but I'm going to reiterate it again. And Pinterest is completely different than other social media platforms because it's search engine based, which means that people can search for types of keywords and they will pop up with pins related to those keywords. And plus, Pinterest is a place where customers are literally going for inspiration to buy things. They're ready to buy or they're ready to be inspired to buy. Okay, it's a type of customer that maybe not actually even know that Zazzle exists. So you get those two different customer-based audiences, which is awesome. And so it's also passive, as we mentioned. So as soon as you pin a pin to Pinterest, it's basically there forever until like Zazzle or, Pinterest shuts down or something happens. But I've pinned pins from Zazzle or products from Zazzle from, let's say, maybe even whenever Pinterest became a thing, like way back when. I can't even remember the year, but years ago. And those pins are still working for me today. And I still make sales from those pins that I pinned years ago. And so you don't have to have this constant upkeep within social media like what you see on Instagram or on Facebook or even on YouTube, where you have to have like constant content all the time, or else your audience actually like shies away from you and says, okay, well, I'm done with you because you're not giving me something new to consume. But on Pinterest, they're actually looking for things. So they're searching for stuff. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter when you pinned it, as long as you have the right title, right? So this is bringing it back to number 1. You definitely need that right title. They used to have tags as also a searchable field, but right now it's title. And so make sure also that your boards are very nicely described and the boards have a nice title as well, because that's also searchable.
So going back to Elka's point about title too, if you manually pin your pins, you definitely want to make sure you have the right title and the right description, because those are the searchable keywords that will be found within the Pinterest space. But if you're pinning directly from Zazzle, you definitely want to make sure that your title is good, because it will pull your title over and you're not actually able to edit that pin in the future. So you want to make sure that your title is like spot on before you pin. And if you update your title in Zazzle, like maybe you decide I need to change it because it's old or outdated or the words aren't right, then go back and repin that product, because the title will be the same on Pinterest as the old one. The link will still work, but the old title will still be there on Pinterest. So you want to make sure that you have the new one, especially if it actually makes more sense and works for you better in terms of SEO.
Yeah, exactly. So if there's a title that you're fixing because it's not the greatest on Zazzle, then when you create and you've edited your product and the new title is ready to go, then repin, because the old pin will still be there on Pinterest with the old title, but the new pin will be there with the new pin, new title on Zazzle, and so you can, on Pinterest. So you can actually have 2 pins with the same product, but the second one will obviously, hopefully work better because you've got a better set of SEO working for you because your title has changed.
Yeah. So
that's it for us for this particular strategy. Announce is huge, and yet guess what? We've made it so simple, right? So everyone's going, but what about Instagram? What about Facebook? What about this? What about Twitter? What about Reddit? What about... Believe us, we've tried those all pretty much.
Yeah.
And we've come to the conclusion that this is the best way to go, because we don't want to spend hours and hours working. We're working 4 hours a month on our Zazzle platform, and anything to do with our promotions, such as strategy number 3, announce, that's all included in there. So, and when we do work once, and we make it work for us all the time. And so that's why we've chosen these passive ways for us to promote. And obviously, there's a lot more in terms of how you can position your brand and your products and how you can pin on Pinterest in terms of what boards you use and so on. But that's a little bit beyond what this podcast is all about. The key here is to get you familiar with allowing yourself to believe that, first of all, announcing is really easy. And that secondly, you can do it.
Yeah.
And that it's not harmful, not icky, and it really does benefit you to get the world to see your products, because the more people that get their eyeballs in front of it, the more chances you have of making sales.
Yeah. So if you're interested in diving deeper into promotion, like we mentioned, then come and join us in the Profit by Design Academy coaching program, because obviously, as Elka just mentioned, we can't tell you everything within this episode and give you all of our secrets included in our 5 strategies.
It just takes so much time.
I know. Really. So if you're interested in learning more about implementing all 5 of the strategies and learning more about how to do promotion and do strategy number 3, announce, then come and join us in the Profit by Design Academy coaching program.
And one more thing, we did do a really great Pinterest do's and don'ts podcast, which we'll link here in the show notes, just to give you an extra little hint as to what to do on Pinterest, because they keep changing too. And so we want to always help our students out and people who are coming in for all the free content. We take care of you no matter what.
Yeah.
Okay, so take care.
Thanks for listening to this episode, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to The Creative and Ambitious Entrepreneur with Jen and Elke Clark.
We hope this episode has given you actionable steps to start and scale your Zazzle business so that you can have the passive online income to have location and time freedom to live your dream life.
If you've enjoyed this episode, please take a minute to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. Each review helps us reach more creative entrepreneurs like you working to create a profitable e-commerce business.
And don't forget to take a screenshot and share it on your Instagram stories and tag us at Miss Jen Clark and at Elke Clark. We'd love to hear your biggest takeaways from today's episode. See you back here next week.